Hi, this is Coralla at CorallaFicklin.com, WelcomeNetwork.com. Welcome is WYLCOME Network.com, Welcome.com, and to download any of the products, or download any of the cards or guides or other study aids we have, and everything is for free. You can go to iStudyGuide.com or iStudyCards.com, or you can go to anywhere, INIWHERE.com. You like how I play with words, anywhere, like INI? The pronunciation is any, even though the correct spelling would be ANY. Also, if you want to pick up any of my writings, any of the books that I've written, any of the essays or papers that I've done, you can go to Pedians, PEDIANS, Pedians.com. Okay, so I've made quite a number of videos, and you can see there's a pattern to a lot of my videos. I've done a lot of stuff on pronunciation, because that's the thing, especially when it comes to English, that's the thing that interests me, not the most, because I'm interested in idiomatic expressions, also interested in affixes, that is, affixes or prefixes, suffixes, and roots. I'm interested in a lot of different things, but most of all, I'm interested in those areas of the language which are especially complicated. You know, those areas where you just want to pull your hair out and say, you know, who made this language, and why was such a language made? And if such a language exists, oh, my hair's coming out, excuse me. And if such a language exists, why is it the language that we have decided to use as if there's such a thing as the, you know, universal language or whatever? Okay, let me just pull my hair down. All right, so what I've been looking at, if you notice throughout, is when I talk about pronunciation, I try to look at those letters, whether vowels or consonants or diphthongs. And diphthongs are letter blends, for example, 2 letters together, 3 letters together. That can be somewhat difficult to understand if you're not a native speaker, if you haven't heard the word language 1,000 times, again and again and again. And one diphthong or letter blends that I've really been interested in is the QU. Now, I'm interested in looking at the QU only from the perspective of English, but I'm also interested in looking at the QU from the perspective of going from English to Spanish. And it's interesting, when you go from English to Spanish, a lot of words that consistently are spelled with the QU in Spanish, in English, and these are true cognates, in English, you'll find that those words are spelled with either QU, the hard CH, I think sometimes the C, and sometimes the K. But that's what I'm going to talk about today. Today I'm just going to look at the 2 different pronunciations of the QU, because the QU has at least, and I'm talking principal dominant pronunciations, at least 2 pronunciations that you really have to be concerned about. One pronunciation is more like the KW sound, like wah, wah, wah. And the other sound is just, it's the same sound as the K. Let me give you an example. I'm going to give you a number of words, and I'm talking about the QU when the QU sounds more like the qua. So here we go. Quiet. You hear that? Qua, qua, quiet. Acquire. So it's like the K and the W sound together. Tranquilize. Consequence. Quarrel. A quarrel is an argument. It's a fight, but it's a fight with words versus with fists. Liquefy. Quote. Acquit. Now when I'm looking over here, I'm looking at the web page itself. So you can go right directly on the web page itself. And this web page, I think, is under minimumpair.com. And you can see all these words. Quarter, qualify, quality, adequate, quite, antiquated. Something that's antiquated, something that's antiquate. It's something that's very, very old. Equipment, antiquity. Antiquity would be a time, I guess that would be like, for example, the classic Latin period, the classic Greek period. Quip. A quip, that's a word that you don't see that much. Another way to say that would be like a comeback. You say something to me, I say something back. And sometimes they call it a zinger, a quip. I say something back, and you're like, oh, okay, I have nothing else to say. Let me give you one more. Let me give you a couple more. Queen. Queer. Now, queer has slang meaning, but it also has a standard meaning. Something that's odd, something that's strange. That's the standard meaning. Queer is also in the gay community. You have to be very careful because you can't use slang, just throw it around. It also means someone who is gay, but that's within the gay community, so you have to be very careful using that term. Question, equal. Okay, so that's the QU when it's like the qua sound. Now, I'm going to another page, minimum pairs, and now we're going to look at the QU when the sound is just the hard K, such as plaque, P-L-A-Q-U-E, plaque. Masquerade, okay, masquerade. Racket, R-A-C-Q-U-E-T. I'm not saying the K-W sound, I'm saying just the plain hard C sound, or the K sound. Antique, critique, check. Now this is the check that's written in British English, not in American English. In American English is C-H-E-C-K. In British English it's C-H-E, now let me see, C-H-E-Q-U-E. Technique, conquer, bouquet, liquor, grotesque, Quechua, coquette, lacquer, picturesque, oblique, Yankee. Now Yankee, once again, Yankee in American English is Y-A-N-K-E-E. In British English it's spelled Y-A-N-Q-U-I. But we both recognize each other's spelling of the word. Okay, so once again, just to recap, we're talking about the diphthong QU. The QU has two different sounds. They're not that different, but they're different enough. One is the KW sound, such as quiet, equilibrium. Let me just go back and give you a couple more. Alright. Quip, acquaint. Then you have the QU when the sound is just like the K, such as Yankee, peak, Quechua, mystique, opaque. Okay, so this is Coralla at CorallaFicklin.com.